Hi, I'm Grace. Welcome to Shanyi Organics. Hi.
Hi. So how are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. Welcome to our HQ.
So tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Grace. I'm the founder here at Shanyi Organics, or Shanyi Brands, because we are no longer just Shanyi Organics. We currently launched a new brand. I'll tell you more about that later. But I'm a cosmetic formulator, I'm a mom, a business owner, all this amazing stuff.
Nice,
Thank
nice. So when and why did you decide to get into this business?
Come, let me show you. So in 2017, I started Shanyi Organics, which is our hair care brand. And why I started was because, aside from the fact that I wanted to create safe and effective hair care products for the African woman, I had a health challenge. So I had to do a lumpectomy surgery in 2016, 2015, thereabout. And each time I went to see the doctor, they kept asking if I had history of breast cancer in my family. And when I asked both parents, they said there was no breast cancer in our history. And that's when it dawned on me that history starts from somebody, and I didn't want to be that person to start the history. So I had to do an audit of the products that were in my stash, my beauty product, my hair care product, and I saw the toxic ingredients in those products. I have a background in microbiology, in science, and I took all of those knowledge I had and started to formulate. I would not even call it formulate at that time. I was just doing DIY, mixing ingredients, and I shared those products with my family, my friends, and they loved it. And they were asking me, please, where do you sell these products? We want to buy. And then in 2016 or 2017, January 12, 2016, that's when we launched. We started Shanyi Organics. Last year, we added a new brand, Pure Baby and Mama. This was influenced by the birth of my daughter. I wanted to create something safe for her that she would use from birth, and we created Pure Baby and Mama. Products focused on babies, infants, toddlers, mothers, whether you're pregnant, postpartum. These products are amazing for you.
Nice. So this room looks really nice. So what do you guys do in this room?
So this is like our content creation testing room. So because we create hair care products and we want to test them, for example, this is a hair gel. We love to ask our customers to come in and then try those products on them. So that's what we do here basically, just testing the product, getting feedback from our customers before we launch it to public.
Nice. That's so cool. What's one thing nobody told you about running a business?
Just one, because there are plenty.
Oh, tell us all.
I can tell you 10. The first thing no one told me was the importance of putting in structure into your business. You know, when you start the business and you're a one-man army doing everything yourself, even at that point, putting in structure into the business such that when other people join you into the business, they can take off from where you started. Yeah. Now imagine people joining you in the business, you're hiring staff and you have zero structure. It seems like you're starting from ground zero. So that's one thing, one lesson I learned the hard way. Another thing no one told me was that your finances, recording your finances, documenting your finances is like the backbone of the business. Because if you're not documenting how money is coming in and leaving the business, you can't tell the health of the business. So you might be seeing money in your bank account and think that your business is making money, but you're actually running at a loss.
Right. Wow. That's so cool. That's so true. So how do you attract and retain customers?
Oh, we do that in several ways, but one thing that our customers have emphasized and mentioned over and over again is how we communicate with them. Right. So we love to build a community with our customers, and it's in the little things, from how we package their order. So when our customers receive their package, they know that this person has me in mind, like this is thoughtful. Another thing that's helped us retain customers is social media. Social media has been very instrumental helping us communicate with our customers, because it's not every time you see your customers physically. So social media has been very instrumental to that as well.
Wow, so good, so good. Just a lot of tips. You mentioned earlier that you started off with DIYs. Has there been any time during the journey that a DIY went wrong, and what was the effect?
Yes, so many times. So when I started, even though I had a BSc in microbiology, I had some understanding of science. I didn't have understanding of cosmetic science. cosmetic formulation. And those courses are expensive. So when I started, I could not get those courses. I just used to research online. And I remember sending a package to a customer, and customer sending me pictures of the package and saying that there were molds growing on the surface of the product, or that the product has separated. Several things, but I'm super grateful to our customers. They are super understanding, and we have customers that have been with us for 7 years through the ups and downs. And one thing that we do when we have those kind of complaints is to make sure that we address the complaint. Either we refund the customer, we communicate with them, tell them we are very sorry, this was what went wrong. But what has happened and that has helped us evolve. So for example, these are 2 samples of products that we are testing out. Now that we have grown, we now have certification in cosmetic science and formulation. We have better understanding of how cosmetic products work, how ingredients work, using the right ingredients for the right product. And another thing we do is that we test. We test before we get the final product. So that's one thing that we do.
Nice. How do you deal with the risks of the business? How do you deal with everything, since you started?
Yeah. So in manufacturing, and it's one reason why so many people don't want to come into manufacturing, they would rather just retail, because manufacturing is filled with so many risks. There's risks of your raw materials, your packaging materials, even the finished products. Like you can see, for example, if there is a burglary incident here or a fire outbreak, you will say God forbid, but these are things that happen. If there's a fire outbreak here, like what would you do to all these finished goods that are here? This is money sitting on the shelf. It's something that is very important to ensure your raw materials, ensure your packaging materials, even ensure your finished products. There are equipment also that you have to ensure, because when your equipment are not available, if something happens, if it's damaged or if it's stolen, you cannot manufacture. So ensuring all of those things are very, very important in my line of business.
Right. So what kind of insurance is best for your type of business? I know you mentioned a few, but can you touch more on those?
I think the 2 major ones I would say is the burglary, that's theft, and then fire. Because we use heat a lot here, like we have to heat up things, we have to, even electricity. You've heard of instances where there is an electric spark and the whole building is down. So fire and burglary, they're the 2 major insurance that I would suggest or advise that anyone in this line of business does.
Right. So asking you a bit of a cheeky question now.
Okay.
We know the customer is always right, but what was that situation that you were almost at your breaking point?
There are several that comes to mind, and yes, customers are always right. But it's something that I even teach or pass on to my team members. As much as customers are always right, there are some situations where you have to actually have conversations with your customer and let them explain that they were actually wrong, right? Making them take responsibility for their own actions. Because they are customers and they are supposed to be always right does not mean that when they do something wrong, you just take on the responsibility just because you want them to be right. No, we don't do that here. We communicate to the customer and tell them, can you admit that what you did was actually wrong? Like, yes, we know that we might have done something wrong, but this is your own part, and you taking responsibility for it will help us to solve this issue well. And when we have those conversations, we see that most of them even come back and say, oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't see it that way. So I don't really believe in the customer are always right situation or ideology, and then you just take up all the blame, even when the customers are wrong, because that way you're allowing them to go on and continue misbehaving even to other brands. But when you let them know that, no, you can't act that way, like we're also human beings here in this business, and if you have done wrong, it's necessary that you take responsibility for your wrong as well. Just doing that, I think it will also help them when they're relating to other businesses and other brands.
Wow, that's so true. That's so true. Okay, so we have 2 more questions, but one is taking us all the way back.
Okay.
How does your business look different now versus when you first started?
I mentioned earlier when I was talking about structure, when you start a business, you are the finance manager, you are the CEO, you are the manufacturer, you are the content creator. You are everything, right? And I was everything for a very long time, for about 4 to 5 years of running the business. I was doing it alone. And let's not even talk about the stress that comes with that. Yes, we have grown over the years, but things have really changed, and I'm super grateful for the growth and progress that we've made. Things are really different now. Before, I was the one that was going to the market, I was the one that was talking to customers, I was the one creating content, I was the one doing everything. But now I have the best team, the best set of people who have been able to set in structure, put in structure, and then delegate different tasks to them. So just sometimes I just look back and I'm like, I'm really living in answered prayers, because these are the days I prayed for, the days where I would be able to delegate different tasks and roles to my amazing team members, and they will carry it out. So things are really different, and I'm so grateful to God at where we are, and also grateful to God and just expectant to see how far we go.
Nice. So our final question is still tying back to insurance, the need, and entrepreneurs. So in one line, what would you say to entrepreneurs who don't have insurance at the moment? And what would you advise?
Just they play. You are playing. You can't be playing with money. If you have, let's say you even have investors' money and something happens, like how do you want to explain to them that all the money they've invested in your business has gone? Sometimes we see investors' money as, oh, investors' money. You're actually an investor. A friend that's putting money is an investor. Maybe your spouse has put in some money in the business. That person is an investor. So you have to value all those resources. I see insurance as you putting value on the things that you have, saying that, okay, these things are really precious and I have to insure them.